Rochelle, the chief executive of Volkswagen resigned yesterday in the wake of this emissions scandal that's going on at the moment. What's the latest on the process of finding a replacement?
Yeah, Mr. Winterkorn resigned to clear the way so that the company could have a fresh start. And the board is set to be meeting tomorrow, Friday, and they are going to be looking through the candidates and are expected to nominate a new chief executive tomorrow to start leading the company through.
But surely that's far too soon. I don't want Volkswagen to be appointing a new chief executive tomorrow. The last one only resigned yesterday and he hadn't been expected to do so. So surely they need to do a bigger search and scour the world for the best candidate rather than just drawing up some list of the favoured internal candidates or the usual suspects externally. Surely they need something a little more thorough than a two-day process.
That would be ideal. I think something that probably investors would prefer, but it hasn't really been the way it's been in the past. So there's quite a web of cross-shareholding between the Porsche group and the Porsche family and the Volkswagen group and all the different shareholdings and brands that go into that. And so it's been quite a lot of round robin in those groups. We saw it last in April when we had this boardroom tussle that ultimately resulted in Dr. Winterkorn's contract being renewed again. But it would be preferable, but it's unlikely.
So it sounds like what this company needs is not so much just a new chief executive, but perhaps a whole new corporate structure.
Yeah, there would definitely be some push for that. The shares trade at a discount compared to some of their French peers and their German peers when you look at the return on invested capital and where they trade on a price to forward earnings multiple. And that really has a lot to do with the fact that this corporate structure and the corporate governance is not confidence inspiring and can be confusing and complex and slightly opaque.
It doesn't sound like an ideal point of view for outside investors to get the best out of the company, really.
No, and they have this strange share structure. There's not a lot of ways to actually invest in its common shares. So the vast majority of its common shares are the ones that have the voting rights, and only 12% of those free float. And even within that small shareholding, there is a mismatch between the shares that they have, and the voting rights that they have. So Porsche has Porsche SE, the holding company, not Porsche, the automaker, has about 31% of the voting of the shares, but actually controls almost 51%. And then the next two shareholders, the state of Lower Saxony and Qatar Holding, are the same thing, have more voting rights than they do shares.
A mismatch between voting rights and economic rights is never a great thing to have, and when you combine that with the emissions scandal and the governance questions, I guess it's hardly surprising that the shares have fallen very heavily this week. Rochelle, thanks very much.